Alright everyone, right now the legacy media is scrambling to declare it basically a conspiracy theory, the Obamagate thing. Obamagate, long story short, for those that, again, are unaware of it, and that's probably two of you, Obamagate is the radical notion that the President of the United States is briefed on legal proceedings involving the possibility of treason or foreign states attempting to meddle in our political process. It is a conspiracy theory to believe that the President of the United States is aware of these goings-ons. Now, Obama's presidency is riddled with examples of this. I remember, all through his presidency, I would keep having to make videos on topics like this. Fast and Furious gun running scandal with the FBI. Obama didn't know it was going on. AP spying scandal. Obama had no clue. Leaks at the NSA and stuff. Obama had never knew anything that was going on. Any time that he was faced with the possibility of repercussions for misusing his office in a corrupt manner, he didn't know. Nope, somebody else is responsible. When the IRS was targeting progressive and conservative activist groups with audits in order to weaponize the tax system against his political foes, nope, he wasn't involved with that. It was just Lois Lerner, I believe. Obama was basically, to believe Obama is to believe that he was an ignorant, hands-off president and didn't know what the fuck he was doing. That's assuming that you believe him. Otherwise, he's a corrupt liar who probably committed treason. Now, keep in mind, with Obamagate, he's not going to face repercussions for this. Obama's not going to get locked up. He's not even going to get investigated. Somebody else will take the fall, if that even happens. That's always the way it works with these things. Like with Hillary's emails when Comey came out and told the American public in no uncertain terms, by the way, yeah, she's guilty as sin, but you know what? I'm not going to charge her. We're starting a new precedent. As long as you didn't mean to mishandle the information, it's okay. Of course, Chelsea Manning, of course, was not able to use that defense, so nor was the dude who took photographs inside of a nuclear sub there, that one dude in the Navy who they threw in the brig for an extended period. They thought he was conducting espionage even though he was just ignorant. He tried to use that defense and he was rejected by a judge, even invoking Hillary's name at the time. Obama never knew. No, he spent his whole presidency eating pineapples and golfing. He didn't know anything. Trump is, by the way, the exact opposite. He knows exactly what's going on and frequently reminds you of that fact, except when he just hears about things on the TV. Occasionally he does that too. That being said, it's interesting that this is now essentially being labeled a conspiracy theory. CNN's article, link in the description, archived, of course. Always use archive.today whenever possible before sharing anything out to me or to anyone else. That deprives them of clickbait ad revenue. The less clicks, the less ad revenue that the legacy media gets, the more the independent media can make inroads and fight these stupid bastards. And their fucking stupid corporate propaganda for billionaire multinationals. They're trying to label it a conspiracy theory, though, but there's no conspiracy theory. The conjecture is that the President of the United States probably knew that this was going on, if not directed it outright to continue after the presidency to try to kneecap Trump. The main allegation is that Obama not only knew that this was going on, the weaponized case that's now been dropped against Michael Flynn, in which his family was allegedly threatened, in which he was dragged through the courts needlessly, and retroactively the DOJ admitting to that and dropping lying to the FBI charges. The allegation is that and other investigations were deliberately weaponized, if not by Obama himself, at least with his knowledge and tacit consent. That's the allegation. It is a fair hypothesis. It is not a conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theory would be to suggest that for 8 years Obama as president never knew what was going on. That he said that this dude with a PhD, who supposedly is the liberal messiah, was utterly ignorant the second he took office. Didn't know what was going on, never got briefed on anything, and that therefore he can't be culpable for what was going on in any sense other than sheer ignorance. That's a conspiracy theory. I don't believe it at all. I think Obama knew that this was going on, this and other witch hunt investigations that were solely designed for political reasons, based on faulty intel that was known to be faulty at lower levels, that was fed through a FISA court rubber stamping process that shouldn't even constitutionally exist in the first place because it contravenes the rights of the accused. It shouldn't even exist. There shouldn't be a FISA court to grant rubber stamp warrants for carte blanche surveillance of individuals, private individuals within the United States under any circumstances. They should have the right to know that they've been accused of something and then see the full accusal in a non-classified way and put on a defense and conduct motions to try to stop being surveilled and so forth. They can't do that with the FISA court. It's essentially a workaround for multiple constitutional amendments, not least of which is the right to privacy. It essentially bypasses the Fourth Amendment. It's unconstitutional. Unfortunately, because of the high level of secretiveness with which it operates, it's very difficult to actually tell that that's the case. For 2 years, Michael Flynn and others were harassed openly and abused by the political establishment simply because they wanted to go after Trump. That's the allegation. It makes sense. And we know that other things happened under Obama, like the AP spying scandal, that are remarkably similar. Obama weaponizing, again, allegedly, at the central level, the surveillance system against AP journalists who were too critical of his presidency, basically to try to scare him into shutting up. We know that the IRS was weaponized under the Obama presidency against both far-left and conservative groups on behalf of neoliberal ones. We don't know that Obama knew what was going on, but again, he should have been briefed on these things. He should have understood. He should have at least, once investigations begun, he should have at least brought himself up to speed. Allegedly, he didn't even do that. No, Holder didn't know anything about the gun running scandal. It was just some rogue agents. Don't worry, it wasn't official policy. Yeah, they got their hands on thousands of machine guns somehow without getting approval from the president, but I didn't know anything about this blatantly unlawful attempt to arm terrorists, arm cartels, arm the Sinaloans. Yeah. Obama never heard about that once. It wasn't even in passing. Nope, totally ignorant. And he was ignorant of this too. And then he comes out acting like there's no legal precedent for Flynn to, get off on these charges, for them to be dropped. Actually, Obama himself pardoned a general who was accused of exactly the same thing during his presidency. And then you've also got Hillary Clinton, who again sets a precedent by Comey and the FBI. That they won't bother to prosecute you if you meant well. Well, yeah, okay, there's a legal precedent. They both come from the Obama administration days. They don't come from Trump fucking around with anything. Very, very interesting, isn't it? But it's a conspiracy theory, remember. Yeah. So is the idea that Epstein didn't hang himself off a 3-foot ledge with like braided toilet paper or whatever, while screaming in pain, while all the cameras simultaneously shut off magically. That's about all. Peace out.